Good evening everyone, and a warm welcome to Mystery Monday live here on Facebook, and thank you so much if you are catching the replay. My name is Lucia Visentin and I am an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for joining me tonight. As you hop on, do say hi. Would love to know who's about and where you're from. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. We did here. I must admit it was pretty cold though, I do recall. Yes, was not a warm one, and it's still not any warmer here either. We're getting quite some cool weather. So in saying that, I will let you know that I won't be here on Thursday, as John and I are heading off tomorrow to a sunnier part of Australia. We're off to Cairns for the week. So I won't be here Thursday. I might do a live from there. I have taken some goodies, some things actually from the new catalogue up with me, so I'm going to have a little play with them while I'm away as well, and hopefully get some things made with them. Good evening, Vicky, and hi, Fiona. So yes, I will do a little bit of Stampin' Up while I'm away, but like I said, as in lives, I'm not sure. I won't have my setup, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully I will do one, we get back on Sunday, so hopefully I'll do one Monday night, so I will be back next week. So tonight will be super quick because I haven't had much time today, because I have been packing, so I haven't really prepared anything, to be quite honest. I've got an idea of what I want to do and what I want to play with, but that's all. Good evening, Anita. So before I start, I will let you know though, 15% off is still on the in colour. So in colour products, 15% off, and it's all of the inks and papers and Stampin' Right markers and blends, but remembering that there are some other things as well. So there are some ephemera packs, there are some, there's all your twines and things as well, but there were, what am I thinking of? There were some kits, some scrapbooking kits and some card making kits, and there were other DSPs aside from just the in-colour DSPs as well. So if you do get on the store, it will tell you the things that are on special there as well, so you'll get to see them. Good evening, Natalie, and hello, Glenda. So that was my one thing that I did need to tell you, that's happening. I do have a class that registrations are open for, my September class. I'm going to say it's the 12th of September. It's the second Friday. So $45 for the kit for the class, if you would like to join us for that, and we're using painterly pairs for that this time as well. So let us turn over and we will get into what we're going to do tonight. So I'm not going to go quite as close as I was last time. I think I was way too close. And I might just come down just a tad as well. How's that? Okay, so mini catalogues I do have. So if anyone would like one, do let me know and I will pop one in the mail for you. They won't be in the mail until next week, because I won't be around to do them, so they will go out the week after this. So what I am using tonight is from the online exclusives. So this is actually called the Modern Christmas Suite. They will be available next month. Hi Patty, how are you? And this is the set here. It is called the Modern, I think I just said that, the Modern Christmas Suite. Ornamental Christmas is the stamp set and the Ornamental Christmas dies. I will be using the dies tonight. I like this, I love this font, just the print. but I love that they have the print and the script together as well. I always love those together. There are dies that cut out both the Christmas trees, and there are dies for the top of your bauble as well. So there's baubles, there's circles, stars, little tiny stars to pop inside of said baubles. So there's a couple of those. So there's quite a few things in there as well. Like I said, tonight it's going to be really quick, Patty. So it won't be a lot, unfortunately, but when I get back I will do a lot more with it. The other things that come in this week, so the bundle for this one is $90, so that's the stamp set and the dies. To get everything that's in this week, which includes the DSP, the twines and the gold hoops, is $157. But the twine in this I love, absolutely love. It is really, it's a nice thick chunky twisted twine, and it doesn't unravel very easily either, which is really good. But you can see how it's twisted really nicely as well. Like I said, it is really, really good. Now, when you get your twine and you are looking for ends, ends are really hard, but if you can somewhere find a little bit of fuzz, don't know whether you can see that. Yep, see, you've got some little bits sticking up. If you find those little ends, that's where you're going to pull it and it will all start coming out, okay? So you do just have to be patient with that as well. So I am going to use this one for tonight. Oh, actually I might use the black one. Not sure. Don't know. Let's put them both back in and we'll see what we're going to do. So like I said, there are the rings. The rings are quite large. As in larger than a bracelet. So they are quite a big ring. So they're the size of the palm of your hand. So they are, yeah, haha, patient, exactly. It does pay off, let me tell you. And then papers, I will just quickly go through the papers again. I know I did it last week, but let's go through again because we do have to decide what I'm going to use tonight. So we have some baubles in the gold foil and some black and white on the other side. So this is gold foil and black and white, this paper. Actually, let me just pop that way. Then we have some Christmas trees, again in the gold foil as well, so beautiful for fussy cutting. I always change my mind. Polka dots. You would hate to see me trying to decide what I'm going to do some of these nights. Again, gold foil in this one, and it's just all the little circles. And then we have some little squiggles. We have some gold foil stripes, and they're nice because they're not completely even as well. And then some dashes. We have some mistletoe. And then some la 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 la. And then the last one is gold stars on black. And then just some black and white Christmas trees. So I'm just going to keep those there for a minute because I'm going to kind of show you what I want to do tonight. They do look like an EG. Where are my squiggles gone? They are funny little squiggles, aren't they? They remind me of, there was something that we had with the little critters, and there were musical instruments and all sorts, pool party. Oh, I can't even think what other colours were in it, but we have had something similar to that. So this is what I've done already, and it was just to see if kind of my idea that's in my head would work. So I have that, and what I want to make is a Christmas bauble. Yeah, black and white and gold. Zany Zoos, that's exactly what it was, yes. And the gold stars, yes, I do love the gold stars on the excuse me, on the black. So let me pull out the dies. So we have rings here. We do have a circle in our dies. So I've used the circle in our dies and I've cut out a couple of circles. So I was thinking they could go in the center of our ring. And then I cut out some stars. Now, when you do cut out these stars, there is the, do you call it apex? The line that goes through the center here. One's a little bit longer than the others. So you've got these 4 little bits are shorter, and you can see when I pop it in the circle that these 2 little points do stick out side of the circle. So what I am wanting to do is have this as my ornament. I won't use this colour, I'll use something that's in the new papers here. I want that in the middle, and then I'm going to stick my stars front and back. Now, to attach all this in the middle that is now floating, I am going to use the twines, which I have now buried. So I am going to attach it at the bottom. Let me pull out the white. Let me just grab a little bit of it. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to just loop this through. And if I cut it off, it would be better, but just, I think I want to probably use the black because I'm thinking that's the colour paper I will use. But what I'm going to do is just do a little loop down the bottom here, and then I've got something for the papers to stick to. So I'll be able to stick that on one side, that on the other, and once I put the glue on both sides, it's got something to anchor it to that circle. Does that kind of make sense? So what I need to decide now is what paper I'm going to use. I think I still will use the gold stars, and because I've got them cut out already, we might as well go ahead and use that. And like I said, I just did that cutting out today just so that I knew that it would all fit and what I had in my head would work. So let's just undo all of this. Okay. So we're using that. I'm just going to get rid of those dies for a minute. So I was thinking perhaps I actually like the look of this black and white one here. And I thought that the gold star is still going to stand out enough against that as well. So we might go ahead and use this one. Any of them would be fine though. Like I even think the stripe would be nice, but it's quite gold. Whereas I think the other, because it's got that little bit more black and white in it. And I mean, and then you could even go something like that one there, because your gold is going to stand out very, very nicely on that. But let's just stick with this. So let me just clean up my desk of all these papers. And we'll just keep this one. And I'll grab my paper trimmer. And I will cut a strip off, and I'll cut it so that my circle fits on the strip, and if it's 8 centimetres it's going to fit in my mini cut and emboss machine, because we know that anything that's 9 or smaller will fit through that. Get rid of that one. bring my mini. Yes, that was the other one that I was thinking of using too, Anita, was the black. I really do like that black with the gold stars. Okay, so I generally use plate number 3 when I'm using my little mini. I know it's not what is recommended, but I find it goes through. You like the red? Yeah, I do like the red as well, but I will probably introduce a little bit of red anyway. So let's see how we go. So let's put our little circle here. I was going to try and get it. Oh yeah, let's center that. We can center that nicely too. Alrighty. So I've just tried to get it nice and even sides and top. Pop that through. And pop my machine away. My machine sits literally right in front of me here, so I can actually pop it all the way on the shelf so that I'm all tidied up. Oh, but I'll need 2, won't I? That was silly. Let's go another one. Wasn't thinking. Okay, so there's one. And let's get our next one. Let's see if we can get it. Centered again. Best we can at least. Okay. And I think with this one I will use the black twine is what I was trying to think of. Now let me just pop everything away as I use it, because then I will know where to find it next time. So we have our ring, get rid of our paper. So I did work out earlier that about 60 centimeters was a good measurement for our twine, so I will cut it off this time. Now if you don't want your end to go missing or for it all to unravel, I use my scissors and I just cut a little divot into my spool, and then I can just pop that in the end there, so then you don't get it all unraveling on you when it's back in the bag. I'll possibly take them out of the bags anyway, but so just a little divot and then just pop that in. Okay, and that just keeps it nice and tidy. So I'm going to fold this in half and just loop it round. So I'm going to do a loop and then put all the ends through that loop. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could also at that point pop a little glue dot, so it just stops it from going anywhere. So I've just got that glue dot and I've just, don't know whether you can see that, rolled it on my finger. I'm going to pop it on here. So I've just popped it on the edge of my ring, and if we put that on the back side, I'm just going to undo it a little bit. So that is going to secure your twine at the bottom of that ring. Okay, I think that should work quite nicely. So like I said, tonight is quite simple, but simple's good. So let us see what we've got here. Got that way. I'm just going to mark only because I want them to line up nicely. So that is my middle. So I'm just putting a mark at the back of where the middle is there. Pen's nearly run out. And then here's the middle again. Just that's better. Just so we get them both a bit lined up. Okay, so what I might do now is, like I said, I really haven't thought this through very hard, so I've got to figure out what I'm going to do at the top here. So again, we might use a glue dot and roll it up. I am just centering my ring on my grid here, just so I can find the top and the middle. So I'm just using this line as my center. So then I can bring this up. And I think if we go one on one side, one on the other side, and then we can tie it at the top. There you go. And we can squish that glue dot in. How's that? I think that works well. And then this is my central line on my paper. So if I pop that there and put some glue on the back of this one, we'll see how we go. Good evening, Anne. How are you? I'm just attempting to make a bauble. We'll see how we go. And what I might do, just to keep that in place as well, just going to get a little bit of tear and tape. Pop that there. Make sure we've got about the same distance top and bottom. I'm just going to put that tear and tape at the back. And at the bottom, there's probably a heaps easier way of doing this. But like I said, I hadn't really thought it through too much. I just, like I said, this afternoon wanted to do something for tonight and hadn't really thought too much about it. Thought I'd get this made up. So let's turn this around. And line that up. And line that up. Oh, there you go, spot on. Well, that worked at least. And I didn't put the glue too far to the edges, so it hasn't oozed out, which is great. You might even use that as the front side. Then all those glue dots are at the back. So then we have our star, and like I said, you can just see that those 2 points here come out a little bit further. All the others almost sit in the circle nicely. So for this, we might just dollop a little bit of glue in the centre and on all the points there. I don't know about precision, but trying. And then easy enough to line up because we know what our middle point is. And those bits go there. And then we can turn him round and do the back side. So again, getting that the right way. Got your top and bottom. And the rest of them are just going to sit inside. How's that? So now I do want to pop a little sentiment or something on there as well. And so what we had on here is wishing you peace and joy, which I thought would be quite nice. Like I said, I haven't even opened these yet, so I haven't popped the stickers on the back or anything. So we can do a quick lesson on getting stickers on the back. Adhesive sheet. Do you know what? Anita and I were talking about that today. How people should remember their adhesive sheet. That's something I always forget. So we have on here our sticker. This is the side where the back peels in half. But what I want to do is take all of the sticker off with the actual writing on it as well. I'm going to pop that onto my block. I'm going to peel the back of that off of it. Peel the back off my sticker here, off my stamp, sorry. Now, making sure that it is the right way up. So I've got wishing here, so I'm going to turn him over that way. Sorry, I am going to have to stand up. What I might also do is just pop something a little bit darker under it. I can just see it a little bit better then if I've got the dark under it. And then we just pop it down. And then you have your sticker exactly where it's meant to go. Okay. So now we can pop that back on again. So what I was thinking for the sentiment is I do have some real red here. Now I always keep my cardstock in their plastic and I keep all my scraps in here as well. So I am going to use some scrappy bits tonight. I don't think it will matter. We're all friends here. I have got my Versamark, my gold embossing powder, and my embossing buddy. Something else Anisha and I were talking about today. Embossing buddies. I used to really hate embossing. Did not enjoy it at all. Always mucked it up. Always. I just could not do it. Until I started using the embossing buddy and started practicing heaps. So the embossing buddy really helps, but also practicing lots helps. If you only emboss once in a blue moon, I think it would be really hard to get it pretty spot on. Whereas if you're embossing lots, you know, do a whole heap of Christmas cards. And if you're embossing them all, you'll quickly learn how to do it really well, really quickly, I think. But it is all practice. And having the right equipment too. So our embossing powder is fantastic. Like I said, the embossing buddy is wonderful. I've used the Versamark. And then I'm just going to use, I still have our old embossing powder. Sorry, we do have the new Wow embossing powders now. But I'm going to use up what I've got, which is still the old stuff. So I do just give it a little bit of a tap. Now the reason why I tap it is just so that that embossing powder does stick to the Versamark. I don't know whether you can see from there, but hardly anything. I've got no strays. So like I said, it is practice. It is the right equipment. So that embossing buddy is really important, I feel. Yeah, it was the same with me, Anita. The embossing buddy was a game changer completely. And you know what? That's a really good idea too, Natalie. Instead of just embossing one thing, emboss a few things. So then you've got them all ready to do some other projects as well. So I'm going to turn my heat tool on now. There you go. So like I said, just that little pop of red I think will be nice on this. So let's, I think I've got it a little bit crooked on here, so we'll just straighten it up a little bit. Get rid of my scrappy bits. Pop it in here and we'll just straighten that up. How's that? Not too bad. So if I now, wishing you peace and joy. Oh, now I don't know where to cut it. We'll definitely cut it there. And I might cut the U as well, actually. Yeah, they may do you know, get more colours. They've had colours in the past. So you just never know. So, wishing you peace and joy. And do you know what? I think I did get that a little bit crooked. Now, if you're doing this, a longer shank on your scissors is a little bit better because you will get a straighter line. And I could have done one for the other side as well, but you know what? I'll only do one side. Oh, do you know what? I've packed away my, I've already packed away my dimensionals. So let me just grab a new pack. So like I said, I have packed some things to go away. And that's one thing that's already in the bag. I even had my embossing buddy already packed away too. So I did go and grab that back down. Now I wonder if these are going to fit. Just. Like I said, this is a really simple bauble. Like there would be so many other things that you could do. I just wanted to get something up and done tonight for you because I just didn't have time to design anything much more than this. But at least it gives you an idea of what you can do with those rings as well. So the gold hoops are gorgeous, but it is just using them and how you're going to use them. And if we had some little red, do you know what? I'm actually going to, let's just not put that straight. It doesn't need to be straight. Just the star would look gorgeous too, yes. Go that way. So we might just put a bit more on an angle as well. So, what was I saying? Yes. So, the other thing that would be nice is some gems, but I don't have anything in red. So, if we grab some iridescent pearls, and I have a real red marker. Is it normal for anyone else to? Yeah, I'm sure I do it every time we go away. Something Stampin' Up has to come with me. I must admit, most of my stuff this time is all for planning. So let's get some of these and give them a little colour. You know what, they might even be better. I know I've got real red and that's what I've used, but we might go a cherry cobbler as well and just see if that makes it a little bit deeper. I'll have to check and see if there are any reds in the new catalogue, because I'm sure there would be. So let's get a few of these and pop them on. How's that? Yes, that's good. I'm glad you do as well, Anita. Yeah, I didn't see any red in the, but I could have missed them. I missed, Anita used something today and I completely missed the whole bundle. So, you know, it's possible I've missed a whole heap of red things as well. So what we could do with this is Taibu. And then if you're wanting to hang that on the tree, I just have some little hooks that I would hook through and hook it onto my tree, or you could just do another loop. You could even do it in the white and use that to hook it up. Yeah, see, a kit's always a great idea. You're right, Glenda. And so, I mean, you could put another little actually you could go one side, one the other, so it's all even. That's that. That's better. And then I would just tie a knot in this. and that's what you could then hang it off your tree with. And even if you had, I'm just thinking like a nice red bow on that would be nice too. I'm pretty sure in the new mini there was some red ribbon. I'm thinking it was only a narrow ribbon. It was probably 1.2 centimeters, but that would still be nice as your little bow as well. That like I said, that twine's actually doing the right thing. Like it's a nice twine, and you've got your star. Like I said, I would probably put the sentiment on the back of that as well. So like I said, for tonight, just something nice and quick and easy, just giving you a way to use those gold hoops as well. So hopefully when you get them, you have some idea as to what to do with them as well. You could also use them in scrapbooking and card making as well, like actually pop them on your card. Hi Jenny, how are you? But that would be quite cute too. But I hope you have enjoyed that, and I hope you liked that little sneak peek as well. It was a little bit different to your ornament today as well, Anita, which was lovely. Like I said, hopefully I will be on Monday, but if anyone does need anything, I am just a phone call away, so don't hesitate to call. It's nice with that little bit of gold. That's quite pretty. So thank you again. Have a lovely week, everyone. I may see you Thursday, but if not, I will be back on Monday. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Thank you. Bye.